Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Sense for Thoughts. I'm Mo, and I'm sick and tired of the accusations that I have a fragile masculinity and I don't wear women's perfumes. Everyone says, stop calling this perfume too feminine. It's not a big deal. And actually, it's probably just an issue with my linguistics. But for me, some of my favorite perfumes, especially from Amouage, are women's perfumes, like this bottle of Epic 56 here. This is definitely top 5 Amouage for me. And in this series, we will be sampling all of the women's Amouage perfumes, and I'll be coming at it from two angles. One, do I like it for myself, and do I want to wear it as a man? And two, do I think it smells great for a woman to wear? So it'll be my opinion on both kind of things. So whether you're a man interested in, are these unisex, are they wearable, stick around. And if you're a lady thinking, do these smell great, should I sample them, also stick around. Make sure to like and subscribe the video, guys, because I have over 20. I think I've got every single Amouage women's perfume in this box here in the sample form, and that is not cheap and no easy feat, so please subscribe. So the samples that I have I'll be going through in this series are Guidance and Guidance 46, which I have in my personal sample stash. We have Figment Woman, hopefully that one doesn't smell like a pissed on pile of mud like the man. Lyric Woman, I'm excited for that one. Journey Woman, very interesting. Jubilation 25. It won't be a first impressions because I've sampled that one before and I love it. Sunshine Woman. We have Love Delight. Crimson Rock. There's a distinct naming difference between Blossom Love, between the newer ones, very, very girly names, and Interlude Woman. I love that one. This might be my favorite interlude. Spoiler alert. Gold Woman. Reflection Woman. Lilac Love. You see what I mean? The naming is very womanly. Lineage. Blossom Love Old. So there's two formulas of that one. Love Mimosa. I hope it's the flower, not the drink. And Love Tuberose. I can't say I love tuberose, but hopefully I'll love tuberose. So I'm going to pick 5 at random, and that will be part 1, and we'll continue going through. It might be a 4-part series, maybe even 5, and I probably will need to do another video as well to give you my final verdict after I wear some of these on skin. But without further ado, let's get started. So I've got my trusty paper here. We're going to go in no particular order, just picking them randomly. We have Love Delight. This sounds like a newer one, sounds like quite a feminine one. I'm going to spray them on the tiny end because these are Amouages and I don't want to destroy my nostrils smelling so many. This will hopefully, get the dose right. So let's give it a spray. Love Delight. Get a few sprays here. I don't know anything about these. I don't know the notes. I don't know the brief. I can smell this one briefly in the air. Okay, so off the bat, this is very, very feminine. That kind of goes against my intro, but let's stick with it. Okay, some of these are not going to be as feminine. This reminds me of 100 Silent Ways by Nishane, which I sampled in the Frag Talk podcast. Make sure to check it out. It's sweet. It's floral. It's clean. It's bubbly. It has a heft to it, something vanillic and caramelized. Maybe it's a fruitiness that I'm getting. It feels robust for such a girly perfume without being an old woman perfume like a Chanel No. 5, etc. This feels more like a younger woman's perfume, but it still feels like it has that Amouage robustness, which I quite like. So off the bat, what do I think about Love Delight opening? We'll be revisiting the dry down later on in this vid. Feminine, fruity, sweet, clean, and has a nice heft to it. I quite like it on a woman. As for me, I could not possibly wear this one, guys. I'm afraid this one is crossed too far into the feminine sphere. but I bet my wife would really enjoy this one. Definitely be sharing this sample with her. Let's move on. That was Love Delight. Next up we have Lineage. This is also one of the newer ones. I think that's that light blue kind of bottle. Let's give it a few sprays. I have to say, these are super potent. I kept on saying I'm going to use the little thing, but Love Delight, is it? Love Delight has filled this room already, so might be in trouble here. So let's give Lineage a go. Just let it settle for a bit. Wow, this is a beautiful frankincense perfume. And by frankincense, I mean olibanum, that yellow gummy resin. Not that it's been lit. It hasn't really been lit yet. It's not like a cheap incense stick and smoke. This is resinous. Something very airy about it and fresh about it. This is like you're in the Gulf, on a coastline of Oman. But you're in nature. You're not like in the beach with loads of people. You're like on one of those cliff tops, which are at the beach, and the rocks are kind of eroded. So there's a beautiful sea breeze. There's warmth in the air, and you're burning this olibanum. It's got this lemony quality, and it is airy, and it's clean. And you're just having a nice zen moment. You're just there alone in your thoughts, maybe walking along this rocky coastline, burning this incense. This is absolutely fantastic. Immediately, I love this one. If I was to give Love Delight a 7 out of 10, this is a straight 9 out of 10. Wow, I am blown away by Lineage. I think I want to make this my scent of the day at the end of this video. Let's give it a go. Now, I do seem to recall from a few reviews that I watched in the past about this one that it is an aquatic, and that's why I'm getting that sea breeze kind of thing. If you've been watching this channel for any amount of time, you'll realize that aquatics are like my kryptonite. They smell like rotten eggs and sulfur to me, especially on my skin. I don't mind them on others. So I will be giving this a wear. It might absolutely ruin my day. But if this works on my skin, I'm going to immediately get a bottle of this because it's basically the only aquatic that works for me. So I've not given up hope yet. Lineage has given me hope. I do have L'Orpheline by Serge Lutens. It's less resinous and more of that white smoke incense, but it also has aldehydes to give it that kind of freshness. Like, this is very light. You'd wear this in the summer, and I wear L'Orpheline in the summer as well. People that say L'Orpheline is feminine, I don't buy it. People that say L'Orpheline is gothic, sad girl perfume, I'm sorry, to me it's uplifting with those aldehydes. This is similarly uplifting. I don't know if it's aldehydes or aquatic notes in here, but it's giving it that breeziness. It's not quite as sharp and aggressive as L'Orpheline. This one is more of a breezy, you know, it's like blowing in the wind. Lineage is absolutely fantastic. Mine is blown. 9 out of 10 for this one. Let's move on. Next up we have an older one, Lyric Woman. So I believe this is the first Chong sample of the batch. Let's give it a go. I've obviously got a lot of experience with Lyric Man. It's that bubble bath rose with lime, and it has this sandalwood creamy kind of base. It can be quite heavy if you overspray it. I've sampled both the newer one and the older one. I enjoy them, but not enough to keep around. I had to get rid of my bottle because I just wasn't wearing it. Let's see if Lyric Woman is more my style. Right, Lyric Woman. What does Chong have to say about the women's line? Let's give it a go. I can already smell it in the air. This is a deep one. This is a deep rose. Let's give it a smell. Wow, okay. Totally different to the ones we've smelled so far. and totally different to Lyric Man. Like nothing is even keeping them the same except the rose component. This one's a deeper, jammier rose. This is like a rose that's kind of like towards that, MFK rose, the Oud Satin Mood. More like Oud, what's the other one called? The more green one? Satin is the one that's like crazy sweet and jammy. And then Silk Mood, it's more along that, which is a bit more green. Wow, this is amazing. It's not very sweet, but it's jammy, if you know what I mean. It's green, it's a dark purple rose, almost turning black, you know what I mean? This is almost more masculine than Lyric Man to me. And almost more wearable than Lyric Man to me. I think this should be Lyric Man, and Lyric Man should be Lyric Woman, if we were really being, accurate about it. Wow, I really enjoy this one. I'm shocked. I did not think I would love this one this much. It's a deep, dark purple rose, but I'm still getting some stemminess from the rose stem. There's some spices there, but they're not at the forefront. The rose is really the main player here. In Lyric Man, it felt like the rose was not really the main player. It was more of that bubble bathiness, that sandalwoody smoothness, creaminess. This is more about the rose for me. Wow, this is like what MFK has been trying to do for years with his roses, but has failed because this is so much better than that, but it's the same color rose. Still has that darkness and romanticness to it. Wow, really love this one. The first Chong women's perfume of the sample set, Lyric Woman. Let's see how it does in the dry down, but as of now, 8 out of 10. Very strong, love this one. Let's move on. Next up, we have another Chong Amouage Woman, and it is Interlude Woman. Now, I love this one. It's been on my full bottle buy list for ages. Just been waiting to the opportunity to pop up at the right time. I think it may just be my favorite of the entire Interlude family. That includes Interlude 53, Interlude Man, Interlude Black Iris. I think this one might be my favorite, to be honest, guys. Give it a go. Interlude Woman. Let's see what's going on here. Wow. So this has something very distinctive about it, and it smells like kiwi, like a green kiwi, not that, New Zealand, Italian, yellowy kiwi, which is more sweet. This is more tangy. It's got some spice. It's got that green kiwi, which is very odd, and it still has the smoke and amberiness of the Interlude DNA, but this is a very gothic perfume. It does remind me of a gothic kind of woman, but I totally and absolutely wear this no problem whatsoever. I think this would be great on me and on a woman too. It's like a fruity, more gothic version of Interlude, and I love it. It's like there's none of that herbaceousness of the Interlude Man, which can be quite off-putting and distracting. This just has straight kiwi. Yeah, I absolutely adore this one. I mean, I've sampled it a few times in the store and just knew, yeah, this one is a showstopper. You can tell this is super complex, and really sampling Amouage perfumes, whether it's men or women, in this fashion is just doing them a disservice. But this one is another absolutely mind-boggling one, a straight 9 out of 10. Ties Lineage for me. Even though this is a lot more complex and interesting than Lineage, sometimes you just want something a bit more basic, but this is a 9 out of 10. Wow, this is so good. I just want to put it on as my scent of the day right now. I have a dilemma here. It's so decadent and rich, and kiwi note is so unique. Like, when have you ever heard of a kiwi note? It's unbelievable. Let's move on. Next up, we have the last one for today's video, and it is Love Mimosa. I'm not sure about this love thing. It's not speaking to me as much as Interlude and Lyric and Jubilation and stuff. Love Mimosa. One assumes this is the flower mimosa, which I'm not very familiar with. Not that cocktail, which I think is that orange juice based, if I remember correctly. Love Mimosa. Let's see if I'll be loving this mimosa. Okay, very interesting. Very strong. Damn, these are potent. Wow, this is like filling the air around me. I can almost not breathe smelling this. Love Mimosa is potent from first spray. And with all of the residual other ones in the air as well, it's quite intoxicating. Like a mimosa, I guess. So when I smell this, I think of the colors yellow and orange. Orange flowers and yellow flowers. Maybe that's why they call it a mimosa and use orange juice in it, because it's orange. Maybe the mimosa is an orange flower. I'm not sure. It smells so natural, like I'm in the flower. I can feel the petal and the textures of these petals, and it's those thin, thin and longer petals. I can almost smell the pollen and the bit inside, you know, that bit that the petals attached to. Sorry, I'm not great at plant anatomy. Yeah, this is beautiful. It's absolutely great. Like, would I wear this? Definitely not. Okay, definitely not. This is more feminine, but I'll definitely be seeing if my wife will enjoy Love Mimosa. I think her style is more Love Delight. I think that's what it was called. I don't really know anymore because the names are so not memorable, because they have that love thing. It's like, which one is it? So that's definitely a criticism of the naming of the newer ones. It could be a lot better. There's something jammy, peachy in there, and there is this flower and this kind of natural smell of the flower and the flower petals. This one's a little bit less juvenile than the other one, Love Delight. Let me get the name correctly, so we're not getting it. Love Delight, yes. Love Delight is a bit more younger and sweeter and like traditional in that sense. This one is a bit more... It's a different take on florals. It's yellow florals though, for sure. It's incredibly high quality. You can feel the density, like you are super zoomed in. And if you've ever felt flower petals, they kind of sometimes have this velvety quality to them. You can almost smell that texture. And you can tell these are very, very well made. We expect nothing less from Amouage really at this point. Out of all of these, I give this a 7 out of 10. It's not my favorite, but I completely understand the appeal. This one is a little bit more feminine leaning, for sure. Would I enjoy this on a woman? Yes, absolutely. It's beautiful. Would I enjoy this on myself? No, this one is a strong no. So that was Love Mimosa. Now I will let these settle down for a while, maybe like a good 20 minutes, half an hour, just to get them to dry down a bit on paper. And we will revisit the dry downs and tell you my final verdict on these. Thank you. All right, I'm back. Let's see how these have dried down. Very excited. Let's go with, I'm surrounded by samples at the moment, if you guys can't tell, but let's give it a go. Let's see how Love Delight has kind of settled on this strip here. Wow, okay. So it is still kind of like 100 Silent Ways, but it is way better. Okay, it is way higher quality, guys. If you're spending that much money on the niche Chardonnay, especially the X one, like just get this. I'm getting a sweet vanilla, and the spiciness is very edible, gourmand, vanilla and cinnamon, like a cinnamon cookie. There's still something floral in there. And I'm getting something boozy, I don't drink, guys. Like a rum or a cognac kind of vibe is what I'm getting. You know, one of those darker drinks. This smells way better now, I'll be honest. This would be like an amazing women's winter perfume. It's great. I think it's a bit gourmandish. Could I wear this? Yes, if I was into that style of perfumes, but I'm very anti-sweet perfumes. But can I see a man wearing this? Yes, if they're into gourmands, for sure. And yes, if they are into sweet perfumes, for sure. And a lot of men are. It's just not my personal style. But is this unisex? Yes, but it's mainly feminine for me, for my tastes. But it's very addictive. Yeah, for sure, going to give this sample to my wife. On me, I'd give it a 6 out of 10. On her, I would give it an 8 out of 10. So highly, highly recommend you guys check it out. And for you girls to check it out for yourself. Let's move on. Next up, I think it was Lineage. Okay. So here's the thing about Lineage. I love this off first sniff. This is probably my second time sampling it. But to be honest, the first time was in store and I was sampling a ton of other Amouages. I barely remember it. So it is technically a second impression, I guess. The thing is, this might be an aquatic that works for me because the resin, the olibanum, that yellow gummy resin, and the aquatic, they're kind of like, they're sitting together. If I imagine the waves of the smell, I know smell doesn't have wavelengths, but imagine its sound. They kind of would go over one another. They would overlap. There's an overlap in smells, and maybe the resinousness in my brain will make me not register the aquaticness. Still beautiful. 9 out of 10 for me, 9 out of 10 on a woman. And I am desperate to put this on as my scent of the day and do a full video for you guys. Definitely would love a bottle of this. I'm going to wear it and maybe do a first wear diary video. And if the aquaticness doesn't kill me, and I don't mind the aquaticness, then it might be my first aquatic perfume in my collection. So yeah, that was Lineage. 9 out of 10 for a man or a woman. I love it. Let's move on. Now we have the dry down of Lyric Woman. Oh, okay, something dark and lurking in there. This is like a typical Chong Amouage. There's the rose, it's dark, deep, has a touch of greenness, touch of floralness still, despite being so dark. But there's something in the back there. He's got that, I think he's got that classic leather, oud, and incense combination that he used in quite a lot of his other perfumes. Yeah, this is amazing. It's like a deeper, darker version, a niche version of those MFK Oud Silk Mood type vibes. Yeah, I really, really like this. Off the bat, I prefer Portrait of a Lady, one of my all-time favorites, because it really pushes that incense and the patchouli more. This doesn't really have patchouli. This has a different kind of base. But yeah, this one, I think would be fantastic on a man and a woman. I would give this one a 7.5 out of 10, maybe even an 8. I think I'd prefer this on myself than on a woman personally. So I'd maybe give it an 8 for myself and a 7.5 on a woman, but it's brilliant. Definitely intrigued enough to give this a wear when I'm in the rose mood. Let's move on. Now we have the dry down of Interlude Woman. Oh yeah, this is fantastic, guys. The kiwi is right there. There's something citric still there, giving the kiwi a bit of fizz. There is probably some florals in there, but it's got that deep ambery base that we know and love from the Interlude family. and a bit of smoke surrounding that kiwi. It's very gothic, fruity, deep, ambery, and smoky. Yeah, I love this one. 9 out of 10 on a man and a woman. It will definitely join my collection sometime in the future. So that was Interlude Woman. Let's move on to our last one. Last one for today is Love Mimosa. Not a fan of the name, but am I a fan of the scent? It hasn't moved much in the past 20 minutes, half an hour, to be honest with you. It's got two things going on. There's like a honeyed thing where it's like the flowers are kind of sweet. And it has that thing where it's like aquatic ozonic notes. But here's the thing that I've noticed. In women's perfumes, aquatic / ozonic notes come off really watery. Like it has this wateriness. Like you've used a floral face wash and you've just tossed your face with some fresh, cold water. That's what it comes across. It doesn't come across as sea, saline, seawater, aquatic, fishy. None of that. It's my least favorite out of the bunch. I'd give this a 7.5 on a woman and a 6 on me. I just can't see myself wearing this. But if you're inclined in the floral space, I could see you liking this. But this is by far one of the more feminine ones, just like Love Delight. So that was me sampling the first of many, many Amouage women's perfumes. I hope you guys found it useful, and if not, at least a little bit entertaining. We're going to continue. There's going to be plenty more to come. As you saw, I have a ton of these samples. I'll be going through the entire sample set and then maybe doing a final impressions of the few that I loved, putting them on skin and seeing which ones are full bottle worthy. But so far, mind blown by a few of these. I already love Epic Woman. I have Epic 56, and now I've got 2 that are on my shortlist already, Interlude and Lineage, and we'll see if any more will join this mini women's collection that I'm kind of making at the moment. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.